You know, sometimes a simple video goes viral, and it's easy to just scroll past. But what if one of those moments could actually unlock something huge about our modern world? Well, that's what we're doing today. We're going to take a look at a tribute video from a 12-year-old boy in India. And by breaking it down, we're going to uncover how time, space, and even meaning get totally rewired online.
Just look at these two pictures for a second. On the right, you've got a football icon, Diego Maradona, in Italy, all the way back in 1985. And on the left, that's 12-year-old Mashal Abulais in India, 35 years later and thousands of miles away. It's the exact same gesture, the same emotion, echoing across decades and continents. I mean, how does that even happen?
So that's the big question, right? How does a small, really personal act of remembrance in one part of the world manage to become this massive global thing? Let's dig in and unpack the invisible machinery that made this one gesture hit so hard for so many people all over the planet.
And to do that, we have to start where it all began, with the gesture itself. A tribute that started with a boy and his hero, and somehow managed to travel through time.
Okay, so here's the sequence of events. It starts with that legendary goal way back in 1985. Then, we jump forward 35 years to November 2020, when the world sadly loses Maradona. And then, just a few days later, Michel posts his tribute, and boom, a connection is made, instantly, across that huge 35-year gap.
So how did this video travel so far, so fast? Well, the first part of the answer means we have to completely rethink what a platform like YouTube really is. We tend to think of it as this placeless cloud, right? But what if YouTube is an actual place?
This brings us to a really cool idea, a digital first-order place. Think of it like a theater. The performance, the real event, happens on the stage. News sites and blogs, they might review the play later, but the magic happened in the theater. For Michal, YouTube wasn't just a website to dump a file onto, it was his stage. The performance was for YouTube. And this visual makes it super clear. See how the event begins right there, in the first-order place of YouTube? Everything else, the news articles, the blog posts, radiates out from there. Those are all second-order places. They're just reporting on an event that already happened on the digital stage. And when you think about it like that, suddenly the physical distance between India and Argentina, it just doesn't matter anymore. The real event took place on YouTube.
Okay, so we've got our digital stage. But what about the audience? We throw the word community around all the time online, but does that really describe the millions of people who watched this video? There might be a much better way to describe them.
So this right here draws a really important line. On one side, you've got a true digital community, like a tight-knit group with strong bonds where everyone knows each other. But what formed around Michel's video? That's what we'd call an affinity network. It's this temporary, loose gathering of people all connected by one single thing, their shared passion.
I mean, think about it. These viewers don't know each other. They probably never will. They're just connected for a brief, powerful moment because they share this affinity for Maradona. It's a pop-up gathering, not a walled-off community. And that helps explain how the audience could be so massive, but also so fleeting.
But this is where things get really wild. This video didn't just hop across thousands of miles. It actually started to bend our sense of time and space itself.
To get our heads around this, we need this incredible concept called the chronotope. Now, it sounds complicated, but the idea is actually pretty simple. You can never really separate time and space. They're fused. Think about it. Any place, whether it's a soccer stadium or a YouTube video, is always shaped by the different moments in time that it holds inside of it. And this is the magic trick of Michel's video. When you're watching it, you're not just in one moment. You're actually experiencing 3 distinct moments all at once. You're feeling the history of that 1985 goal in Naples. You're watching the tribute performance happening in 2020 in Kerala. And you are part of the global viewing audience right now in the present. The video becomes this chronotopic compressor, layering all these times and all these places into one single powerful experience. And that compression gets supercharged by something researchers call velocity. I mean, just look at this. News of Maradona's death blanketed the entire globe in less than 45 minutes. Velocity isn't just about raw speed. It's about our shared expectation that big things happen everywhere, all at once. It's what turns a personal, private tribute into something that feels like a collective, real-time event for everyone. All right, so we've got the stage, we've got the network, we've got this compressed sense of time, but what was the secret sauce? What allowed this specific video to travel so far, so fast, when so many others don't?
Well, the answer is in something called sociolinguistic scales. Think of it like a thermometer that measures how understandable something is. A video about a local sports hero that only people in one town know? That's low scale. You need a ton of context to get it. But a tribute to a global icon like Maradona, that's as high scale as it gets. He's instantly recognizable to billions of people. No translation needed.
So here it is. The formula for going global, it's a process called upscaling. You take a local act, like Michal making his video. You add a high-scale subject that everyone understands, like Maradona. And you broadcast it on a first-order stage, like YouTube. You mix those together, and just like that, a private moment of grief becomes a global conversation.
So when you pull all these threads together, you end up with a pretty profound realization about our digital world. The global is always, and I mean always, produced locally.
Because for all this talk about global networks and high-tech platforms, the real emotional core, the meaning of it all, is made in the small, local, tangible details. It's in the hand-drawn sad face on the back of his shirt. It's in the dust kicking up on a dry field in Kerala. It's in the raw sincerity of a young boy's movements.
It really all comes down to this powerful idea. The technology, sure, it enables the global connection, but it doesn't create the meaning. As a couple of researchers put it, quote, "The way in which the global produces the local is still very much a local matter. The meaning is always made right there on the ground."
And in the end, it all comes back to this image. We might be looking at pixels on a screen, yeah, but what we're feeling is that chronotope, that powerful, layered experience of a hero from the past, a boy in the present, and our own shared global moment of watching it all unfold together.
So I'll leave you with a question to think about. Now that you've seen the mechanics behind it, what local stories have you seen online? What small gestures have you stumbled upon that, just for a moment, somehow managed to contain the entire world?